Hello, everybody. Sorry, it's a little different tonight. I'm holding the phone. Usually we have something to put it on, but I forgot it at church this week. So I forgot the my iPhone holder for our nightly devotions and things we do at night here. I forgot it at church this week because we use it also for our outside services so that we can stream live online. So if it's a little shaky tonight, I'm sorry.
And darker.
And darker, yeah, because we don't have our
light on it.
Yeah, because we don't have our light either. So we're trying to have this light above us, and then what little light is left outside. So welcome everybody. Good evening, Toya. Good evening, everyone. Let's see who else is on here. Rachel and Janice and Carissa. Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. Hey, Alan and Lisa. Welcome. So glad that you all have joined us. Welcome to our little chat here tonight. We're trying to do things a little bit differently, kind of change things up a little bit. We'll be doing devotions, starting devotions again next week. So this week we're going to do things a little bit differently, and it might look a little differently as we go forward because it's getting nice outside, and we want to make sure people get to enjoy being outside and things of that nature. So hey, Carissa. Hey, Nicole and Waters family. Hey, Ashley. Hey, Jack. Good to see you tonight. So, all right. Well, we'll be on here for just about 30 minutes. I have another meeting tonight I have to be at 8:30, but we wanted to jump on and say hey to everybody. I do have a little something that I want to share with everyone, but we thought tonight what we would do is, do you all have any questions for us? So we've never really done this before. Right. So do you have any questions for us? It can be from, what we like to eat to
anything you want to know about us.
Yeah, anything you want to know about us. All right. So we've been married for 15 years. It'll be 16 years in September. Yep. We won't share our ages or our weights like Brother Rod today.
I'm not sharing my weight. I share my age, but not my weight. It's none of anyone's business.
Brother Rod, he had something going on his page on people trying to guess his weight, and so I thought that was pretty cool. But any questions for us tonight? How did we meet? Okay, well, do you want me to share or do you want to share? Well, I'll share my part and then you can share your part. Okay. So how did we meet? All right. So what I say is we kind of knew each other from rallies. Heather went to Silver Hill Pentecostal Church in Rockford, and her parents went there as well for a time. And so we kind of knew each other from rallies. We'd seen each other. We really didn't know each other, but we had seen each other. I don't know if we had even really talked, except for one time at camp.
Yeah, we got introduced at camp. You were 15 and I was 16.
Yeah.
That was the first time we ever talked. And so, and then our kind of how we got reconnected again was through my friends Jimmy and Michael King, some of my really good friends. Jimmy and Michael King, we would hang out all of the time, and so we had mutual friends. Actually, Jimmy liked someone that was her friend from her church, and Michael, I think at that time, was going out with Nicole. Yep.
Yeah, his wife now. Anyways, long story short. So we got reconnected. We went to Fridays one night, TGI Fridays, which is no longer there now.
Yeah. Oh,
no, they closed. Oh, yeah, they closed. So we went to TGI Fridays one night.
And we
played laser tag. That's right.
Yep.
And then that night, I don't know if it was that night if I asked for your number.
No, it was like months later.
Because anyway, it's a long story.
Hung out all as friends.
Yeah, we hung out as friends. And then our first date was with Brother and Sister Cast. Which is, some of you are saying, wow, that's crazy. I didn't know that. No, Brother and Sister Cast, we had a couple's date, our very first date, and we went to a Rockford Lightning game. That's how long ago it's been. And then from there, that was it. But you say your first time of really seeing me and being interested in me was whenever I was at camp parking the cars.
So, Danny and Sheila Hanners.
That's right. Yep.
We're really good friends with my mom and dad, and
Love the
they're
Hanners.
related to Anthony's family, and they had known me since probably my early teenage years. And once I graduated from school and everything, they had said, "We know this young man that would be perfect for you." And I said, "Well, who is that?" And they said, "Anthony Maynard." And I'm like, "No." I said, "I don't think so." And so it was probably like about a month later at family camp. Anthony was working with his dad on security, and my mom and I drove down for a service for the night, and he was parking cars. And I said, "Mom, that's the guy that Danny and Sheila were talking about." And my mom said, "Well, what's wrong with him?" I said, "Nothing." I remembered him differently. And so he said hi to me, and I thought, "Oh, okay." But I didn't see him after that, and it was several months later that, like he said, we got reconnected through mutual friends.
Yeah.
And then once that happened and Danny and Sheila found out, they made sure to have multiple things and invite both of us and have us show up there. And so
That's exactly right.
that's just kind of how it went.
And they had been trying for years to get us connected, because we were at Old Country Buffet one night, or actually one Sunday after church, and they came up to us and said, Anthony, have you ever met this girl named Heather Knowlton at Silver Hill? And I said, no. They said, well, you need to meet her, because I think you guys would go good together. So thank you again, Sheila. And we love Danny. We remember him fondly, and we love both of you all very much, the Hanners family, for helping connect us. So, so, all right, let's see here.
Questions.
Yeah,
Mary said,
sorry, what did I do here?
Your finger's in front of me.
No, I turned it around here.
Oh.
Sorry about that. Okay, like I said, we don't have our stand here tonight. I apologize.
I'll read the questions.
Okay.
Mary said, "Is there anything you guys do daily as husband and wife, like sweet morning text?" Well, lately, we have been home together. It's been really strange, because normally I leave for work long before anybody else is awake. And so usually what a normal time in our life, whenever he wakes me up, he would usually text me and say good morning and everything like that. But recently, I've been working from home a lot. I've probably been working from home 6 out of 7 weeks here recently. Yeah. And so he's the one I'm here working, and he's the one that's been leaving. So it's been really different. But one thing that we do in the evenings is that we have time together in the evening. So, when it's time to go to bed, Peyton goes to bed, and then we'll stay awake for a while in the evening and talk and catch up on the day and just, do something as a couple. And so that's kind of our nightly thing that we do.
Yeah. Watch a favorite show or something like that. No. Yeah. I mean, we'll kind of text back and forth in the morning and afternoon throughout the day. But just basically spending time together in the evening and whenever we can. So.
All right. What's your favorite food and favorite restaurants?
Well, for me, I think it's pizza.
I knew it.
Pizza is my favorite food, as you can tell. You can tell I wear it well. So, no, I think pizza, and probably my favorite place to get pizza is Capri restaurant downtown. But I also like Giuseppe's on that would be, I guess, the northwest side, I guess. That's off of Main Street. My favorite as a kid growing up, and probably why I like pizza so much, we used to go every Sunday night to a place called Rose's, and it was on Auburn Street, way out on Auburn Street, and now it's since has closed. But I remember going as a family and going with the Anconas and Jimenez's and many other families to Rose's. But what's your favorite?
My favorite restaurant is Capri as well, and my favorite food is fettuccine alfredo.
Yeah. So, but we also like,
I'd like food. Not a whole lot that I don't like.
yeah,
Tacos and...
yeah, Fiesta Cancun.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Okay. What is your dream vacation?
Okay, well, you go ahead.
My dream...
Because we probably don't have the same
No,
dream
we don't.
vacation, so.
My dream vacation is to go to the Mediterranean. I would love to go to Italy someday as well as Greece.
Yeah, you know, if I didn't have to ride a plane to Italy, I would love to go to Italy. I do not like flying. I do not like flying at all. And so, you know, I'm pretty happy with where I've been in my life. I can't really say, you know, if I flew somewhere, you know, I think it would be neat to go to Italy, probably, you know, Rome, you know, somewhere like that as well. I think Hawaii would be neat as well. Hawaii, as Adventures in Odyssey would say. So.
Okay.
My favorite place to go, though, on vacation, though, probably many of you know, is Branson, Missouri. So, yeah, I love going to Branson. I love going to Silver Dollar City. It's my favorite place to go to. I would go there every year for vacation. There's so much to do and so much to see.
I just like to go on vacation. He usually plans the vacation, and I just go along for it. I'll sometimes say I'd like to do this or I'd like to do that, but mostly I just like to go. Yeah. So I'm not real picky. Anytime we get to go anywhere or do anything like that, I'm just happy with it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a blessing.
Yes,
absolutely.
It is. Okay, what will be the first restaurant you eat at when this is over? Capri?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably Capri. I really do miss that. I love it because, number one, it's a family-owned restaurant, and it's a local restaurant. And the guy who owns it still makes the pizzas. I know he's an older gentleman. I've done some funerals for his family, not his immediate family, but extended family. And he's a really nice guy. If you go in there, wave at him, he'll wave back at you because you can watch him making the pizzas there in the back. I would say Capri. And for a chain restaurant, probably Applebee's or Chili's.
Yeah, Chili's.
I don't know. I miss, you know what I miss most of all?
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. Yeah, there you go. I miss going out to eat and just being around people.
Yeah.
I really do. I might be weird, but I miss being in the atmosphere of a restaurant with people around me and hearing the chatter going on all around me. Sometimes I'll just sit there and listen, not to conversations, but just listen around me and to the chatter that's going on because I love hearing people and being around people. So that's what I miss most of all about going to restaurants. I know that wasn't the question, but I really do miss going inside and hearing and being around people. So.
And one thing we like to do in the summer, because we are heading towards summer, which Peyton finished school today, so that means that we are in summer. We're excited.
We're in summer.
But we like to go down to the city market on Friday night and walk around and just see what's going on, maybe buy some produce that they have down there or something like that. And then we'll walk over to Capri and eat dinner at Capri. So we enjoy doing that.
Love the city market.
Who said I love you first? So I'll tell that story.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. I can't remember. I'm sorry.
I remember. That's okay.
I'm getting in trouble here now.
I have a better memory. So when we were dating, Anthony brought me roses a lot, like whether it was a single rose or a couple roses or like a little potted rose. He brought me roses all the time, and they were all different colors. Well, I did not notice this, but he pointed it out to me later that all of a sudden he started bringing me red roses, and he had never brought me red roses.
Right.
Well, I didn't pay any attention to it. Maybe I'm not that great at detail. I don't know. But So he finally, one evening at my parents' house, they had a swing in the back of the yard. We were sitting on the swing, and he said, "I've been trying to tell you something." And I said, "What?"
This is just like a man right here.
And he said, "Haven't you noticed that I've been bringing you red roses?" I'm like, "You always bring me roses." And I was happy about it. I mean, I like flowers. I felt special every time he brought them to me. But I said, you always bring me roses. And he said, "But these are red roses."
Right.
I'm like,
there's a difference.
"Okay, I'm not getting this." He said, well, red roses represent something. I'm like, "Okay, what does it represent?" And he said, "Love." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So then he said, "I've been trying to tell you that I love you." And I'm like, "Well, why didn't you just tell me then?"
That's because that's how men speak right there. Right, Brother Alan, Sister Lisa, Marriage Matters.
So he was the first one to say it, and I said it back.
Yeah. And do you remember whenever we went on our first date to the Rockford Lightning with Brother and Sister Cast, then we went to Don Pablo's after it. I brought you yellow roses.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to mean friendship.
That's right.
And then the next color was...
And he tried to pay for my meal at Don Pablo's.
She wouldn't
I
let
would
me.
not let him. I didn't know how it was going to end up, so...
Anyway, so but on our wedding day, I gave you...
Yep, on our wedding
white.
day, he gave me...
Or not.
Not all colors, but he gave me... he wrote a card that said the yellow roses were for friendship, the pink roses were for when we started dating, the red roses were when he started loving me, and then he brought me white roses for our wedding day. So it was very special. I still have that.
Yeah. So, all right, next.
How long did you date before getting married?
So, a roundabout.
It's okay.
So we dated. We were friends for a while, and then for several months we were friends, and we really didn't date. And then we went on that first date several months later, probably 2 or 3 months. Maybe longer than that.
From
4 months.
Yeah.
We were probably 4 months as
we just were friends.
we're friends, and then December we started dating, and then I asked her to marry me in September. October.
Yeah.
We were married in September. October, I asked her to marry me. And actually, a funny story really quick about that is probably a lot of you already know it. I'm a big Cubs fan. And the day that I asked her to marry me was the day I thought the Cubs were going to go to the World Series. And so it was the infamous Bartman Ball incident. We were at her mom and dad's house. I already had the ring. It was in my pocket. My dad said that day, "You're going to ask her to marry you that night." I said, "No, I'm not." And but it was perfect. I mean, the Cubs were going to go to the World Series. They were winning. I think it was the 7th inning. They were winning. I mean, it was great. And so I said, she'll never know. She'll never know that I'm going to ask her right now that to marry me. So I told her, I said, I got to go to the store or something silly. And she was very confused because we were watching the Cubs game, and she's like, "This is weird. You're like the biggest Cubs fan that I know, and you want to go to the store." Well, anyways, long story short, I asked her to marry me that night, and I'm like, this is great. The best day of my life. I'm getting married. The Cubs are going to the World Series. This is unbelievable. We go to her grandpa's house, grandpa and grandma's house afterwards, and he's almost in tears. And I look, and the Cubs lost. I didn't know what happened yet with the Bartman incident, but the Cubs lost. And so I always say it was the best and the worst day of my life. And so she bought me a plaque that has the Moises Alou reaching up into the stands with Bartman reaching out, and she put on it, "The best day of your life, and don't forget it." And so now that the Cubs won the World Series, absolutely.
We're good. All right.
All right, next.
Okay. So to answer that question, we dated from December until October. He asked me to marry him, and then we were engaged from October to the next September. So just a little under 2 years before we got married.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's any other questions.
Any more
Comments.
questions?
Who is your favorite, Foxy or Peyton?
Oh.
Definitely Peyton.
Oh, man.
Definitely Peyton. Foxy's like a
Definitely
cranky old lady.
Peyton. Definitely Peyton. So, there he is.
I'm happy.
All right. Definitely Peyton. I really don't like
What's your
Foxy. No, I'm just
favorite
kidding.
Disney movie?
All right.
Whoops.
What's your favorite Disney movie? Do you have one?
Probably The Lion King.
Mine is Cinderella.
Cinderella. Okay. Cinderella.
What are your favorite hobbies?
I don't like the new remake of The Lion King, though. The action live one. No, you got to go with the original 1990s Lion King.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, what now?
Okay, what are your favorite hobbies? Spending time with family or church cannot be the answer. Okay. Mine, I like to make stuff. I like to craft. Anthony got me a Cricut for Christmas this past year, and I love that. It's like the most fun I've ever had in my life. But I've always liked to do crafts and different things like that. And I like to go shopping, but not as much as I used to.
Especially right now.
Yeah.
I like to read and to listen to audiobooks. Those are two of my favorite things. I also like working out in the yard whenever it's, of course, it's summertime. I'm kind of into a thing right now of selling stuff on eBay, and so so that's kind of been fun. But I would say most of all, it's just reading and audiobooks.
I like being outside, like walking outside and things like that too, like the outdoor type things. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. For all the young men and unmarried, you would do well to have multiple go-tos for flowers. Oh, that's not a question. Okay. Okay, I think that was the last question that I see.
All right.
I don't see any other questions unless I missed one.
All right. All right. No more questions. All right. Well, we just wanted to spend a couple of moments with you, and one more question. We just want to kind of just give some time here just to chat with you guys, and like I said, we'll have to be leaving here in just a couple of minutes, but we don't want to jump on tonight.
When all the big stores open up, what will be the first the two of you go to together? Well, first of all, I just want to say that I want to go to Branson and go to the outlet mall there. That is my favorite place to shop anywhere. The outlet mall in Branson is amazing.
Yeah.
They have all the stores that I like.
I would say probably our first store together will be Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. The first store around here will be Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
Hopefully the second will be the Tanger Outlet.
Yeah. Yeah. We both love Hobby Lobby.
Yeah,
I mean, it's I like it as well. So, Okay.
Who's your favorite, me or Raj?
Oh, man.
Kelly said, who's your favorite sister?
Oh.
Okay, we can't get these ones.
Oh, man, these are tough questions. I say I have 3 favorite sisters.
And I have no favorite sisters because I don't have any sisters.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Zoe.
Zoe's my favorite sister. I don't have a sister.
Mona, yes, she does, right? Yeah, and if you're like, well, does Mona and David have another kid? No.
No.
They have a dog named Zoe. But
that my mom calls my sister. She's not my sister.
All right.
Okay, I think that's all the questions.
Is that it?
Yeah.
We love Rod and Mary the same. Both the same. I love Jennifer, Kelly, and Destiny. Or I should say, Kelly, Jennifer, Destiny, going in the right age there. But if it was Jennifer, it would say Jennifer, Kelly, Destiny. So I love you all the same. I do have a favorite brother, though. So
I have a favorite brother, too.
All right. Is that it?
I think that's it.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I was doing a funeral service today for a family that I had never met. I just met them just a couple of days ago. They needed someone had passed away in their home, and so as I was talking to them, I usually ask this question. I usually ask, do you have a scripture that you would want me to read, or a favorite poem, or a favorite writing that you would want me to read? Some people do. Some people don't. They say, no, you just pick out whatever you feel is the best. Well, it just so happened that this family picked out Psalm the 91st chapter, a beautiful psalm that we have probably heard over the past little bit of time here in this past couple of months. I'm sure it's been quoted to you before, maybe even from myself. But I stood up today at that funeral and I read this psalm, and the Lord spoke to me in the middle of that funeral. You say, wow, that's weird. I don't know. The Lord just speaks to me in weird, different times, I guess. But as I read this psalm in Psalm 91, and there's only just a very few people there because of the restrictions that are right now. And as I read this, and I read the first verse, the Lord spoke to me. And the first verse I want to read to you, and it says this. Now I'm reading the New International Version, and so the King James does say it a little bit different, but it says this. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. Whenever I read that scripture this morning at that service, the Lord said this to me. He said, Anthony, shelter in place didn't start 2 months ago. You've been sheltering in place a long time. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I challenge you to keep sheltering in place, in the place of Jesus Christ. Shelter in His arms.
Amen.
Shelter in the shadow of the Almighty. Don't leave the shelter. Don't leave the shelter of Jesus Christ. And if you don't leave the shelter, you can say, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Stay in the shelter. Stay sheltering in place here this evening. Don't leave the shelter tonight. Don't leave the shelter.
Amen.
Tonight, as we were thinking about what we are going to do, I just put into Google a bird sheltering her babies. And the first thing that came up was a mother hen in India, a video of a mother hen, and you can look for it after we get done here. A mother hen in India. It was raining, it was pouring rain, it was windy, and that mother had her wings out. And I told Heather, I said, this hen has her wings out. And she said, I've never seen a hen with her wings out. She had her wings out, and it was covering those babies. Those babies were under her wings. They were sheltering under her wings. The same thing is with Jesus Christ. He has His arms outspread, and He's saying, come on, come unto me, you that are weary, you that are fearful, you that have no hope, you that think you're at your wit's end, you that think that life is over.
Yes.
Come to the shelter tonight. My arms are open wide. My arms have been stretched out since over 2,000 years ago, since I stretched my arms out on the cross. And they're still stretched out for you today. Continue to shelter in place. Jesus loves you tonight. He cares for you. I hope that brings you some hope. I know it did to me today. And I'm thankful that the Lord continues to speak to us during this difficult time. Can't wait to see you all again this next Sunday.
Yes.
Please look at our schedule. Don't miss tomorrow night. We're going to have an awesome interview with Reverend Matt Caraway.
Can't wait to watch it.
He is going to bless you tomorrow. He is a great guy. He has a great testimony. Don't miss it. 8 o'clock tomorrow night. We love you all so very much. We had a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah, we did. That was fun.
That was fun. Thank you all. Hope you guys will please hug your families for us tonight. Keep sheltering in place in Jesus Christ. We love you.